What's going on, guys? Benza here, and it has been a very hot minute since I was able to sit down and just kind of talk to you guys. This whole summer has been absolutely insane. We have so many different projects on the go. We have so many different cool things that I'm so excited to share with you guys. But it kind of took a lot of time for me to focus on those, and I didn't really have much time to make YouTube videos, which is kind of horrible because I focused so much on Instagram and I haven't focused anything on YouTube. So we are here to change that today. And that right here, this came in from Hanging Branch. I'm super excited about it. It has my logo on it, and this is gonna be the first wedding that I'm gonna be delivering this season. So I'm very excited to share these photos and videos with the couple. They look so good. And that kind of had me thinking, what are some things that started to shape my style as a photographer and a filmmaker, and what are some things that you potentially could adapt from this and use in your own Instagram account and in your own portfolio? Here I have a couple of things that I wanted to share with you guys. Start to make these really weird sound effects now, and I think I might need to start making a sound effect pack. Alright, here we have the first little accessory that I've been using like an absolute madman, and it has been saving my butt in so many situations. It is a 50mm nifty 50 lens. If you've never owned one of these, this is essentially one of the first lenses that any photographer or filmmaker should buy, and what other photographers and filmmakers suggest you buy for the first time. This right here is the Canon 1.4. You can see me through this thing. That's actually kind of cool. But this lens is a little bit on the more expensive side. Not terribly expensive. I got this little baby on eBay for $236, and you can get the 1.8 version, which is just a little bit slower, but still amazing low light performance and incredible bokeh for like $125, and that's Canadian. So it is an incredible lens, but what it really is good at is being the most versatile thing on the planet. There's so many situations where you could go out and you could go for a portrait shoot, you could go for an event shoot. Heck, I know even wedding filmmakers and wedding photographers who use a 50mm and a 35mm, just prime lens. There's no zooming in and out, it's just a prime. So if you are thinking about picking up one of these lenses, you can pick up the 1.8 at $125 to $150, depending on where you get them from. And you can pick up the 50mm 1.4, which is now personally one of my favorite lenses that I use for like $200, $300-ish on either eBay or Amazon. Second little accessory is in this little box. So texturized. This is actually stupidly cheap. It is a $15 crystal. And if you've never seen these before, or maybe you have seen this before, this basically bends light and starts creating reflections. So a lot of photographers start to use it when they want to get a creative effect out of their lens. And so the way that it would work is they would put it up right against the lens, and as you can see, it starts shaping like a really cool effect just on the side here. And as I turn it around, there are different things that it reflects. So it works a lot better with a more zoomed in lens because it's a more compressed image that you get, so you don't see as much of the crystal itself, you just see more of the reflection. But this little baby cost me $15 on Amazon, and I find myself use it so many times. Recently I shot this wedding, and it was a very hipster-esque wedding, and a lot of it was me trying to find like even more hipster things that I could add to this wedding, and this baby was definitely one of them. I was super excited that I was able to bend the sunshine, and like through the tree branches I was able to get these cool reflections onto the image. So if you're thinking about picking up a crystal, I highly recommend it. It's an amazing tool. Moving on to more hipster things, I have this little box of fairy lights. They're just small little LED lights, but when you turn them on, they just look so good. You've probably seen them in so many different Instagrammers' photography style, but what I started doing is I started forming little circles around my hand, And as I form these little circles, or maybe just like a little oval, I put that right up to the lens. And if you can see, it starts to create these bokeh bubbles around the image. It's a really neat little technique that I started using in both just lifestyle shoots as well as weddings. And it adds such a personal touch to the photos that they just look different. It looks like you are in Avatar and you're like seeing the glowy things fall on you, and as soon as you move, they start flying away, and it's just... Maybe I'm getting off track here. But there are 3 props right here that you can use to enhance your photography game. A 4th one that you can use is just create depth. And what I mean by that is you can use a simple thing as a card holder, but as soon as you put it up to the lens and you start, let's zoom in a little bit. As soon as you put it up to it and then you have it kind of in the rule of thirds, it starts to create a certain like mystery. It's almost like you're a part of this scenery, and then you're just kind of creeping in, which can be actually quite creepy. But you can do this with literally anything. You can do it with a card holder. I did a shoot yesterday where I started using a lens post to utilize it as the depth of my image, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. So if I could have one tip for you if you're starting out photography just now, is depth. Use depth, because it is an amazing tool, and sometimes it doesn't even cost anything. You can just use your surroundings around you. The 5th little thing that I wanted to touch on is leading lines. So there's a photography concept. Leading lines is a bunch of different things that you see in the frame, in the picture, and they point towards a direction. It could be a subject, it could be just off the camera, whatever it is. But find those lines in your image. In the shoot yesterday, I went out and I saw these 2 buildings, and these buildings were just right beside one another. But with my lens, I was able to get down a little bit lower, and I was able to see the side of the buildings, and my object, my model, was just standing in the middle of it. And the way that these lines kind of went down, it just pointed your eyes towards your subject, which is the model. It's an incredible tool. If you find leading lines in the rule of thirds, it enhances your photos an insane amount. Street photographers use it a lot because you see all these buildings, all these roads, and it's basically a natural setting for you to take stunning photos. So when you go out next time and you start taking pictures of things, try to look for those subtle little lines that lead into one frame, into one subject. All right guys, I hope you guys found this sort of thing helpful. If you are wanting to see more of these hacks, tutorials, tips, tricks, I guess, whatever you want to call them, then make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share this video and let me know your thoughts. Maybe this wasn't so helpful, maybe you want to see something else. I'm totally open. I want to make this into a conversation where we can all kind of gather around and figure out things. So there you go, that's it guys. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, make sure you do that. Just click in the links below, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.